Now, one of my favorite videos that I've ever released on this channel is a video I released last year called What Are We Wearing Lately? It showcased in about 60 to 90 seconds different YouTubers talking about watches that have been taking up a lot of wrist time, why they love the watch, and then why you should look into it as well. And with 2019 being here, I think it's time to do another version of this series. Let's get into it.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Jory Goodman from the Time Teller channel. Teddy, thank you so much for including me in this episode. I'm very excited to see what everyone else is wearing, but for me, my little JLC Reverso Classique Mechanical has been spending a whole lot of time on my wrist lately. Now, if you guys recall, I turned 30 a few months ago. I'm officially over the hill. This was a little birthday present to myself. Now, comment section, you can cool it. Okay, I know I look a little bit older than I actually am, but you know, if I didn't have this beard, it'd be even more of a mess. So the beard stays. But this watch, absolutely gorgeous, no doubt about that. 38 millimeters of solid 18 karat yellow gold. It's a simple watch, but it has all the details where it should. You know, that pristine light colored dial with those blued hands. It just looks amazing. And then when you reverse that watch over, there's a few little doodads on the back there. Just an amazing watch, no doubt about it. It's elegant, it's simple, it's fun, and again, it was a huge grail for me, so yeah, just very excited to have it in my collection, and I've been wearing it a whole lot. So yeah, let's see what everyone else has. Teddy, thank you so much for having me, and congrats on 100,000. Keep crushing it.
What's up, guys? I'm Brian Sakawa from He Spoke Style, and the watch that has been on my wrist the most recently is this one right here. This, of course, is the Alanga Nzuna Datograph, first generation, which means that it has a 39 millimeter case in platinum, alligator strap, black dial with high contrast makes it very striking to the eye. You have the signature outsized date at 12 o'clock and then two subdials, running seconds on the left and then jumping minutes for the chronograph function on the right. This is a flyback chronograph. Now, as perfectly proportioned and beautiful as the dial is, the real show is the case back and the absolutely exquisite movement. You have a hand-engraved balance cock and just incredible architecture that you could seriously get lost in all day long. This particular watch moved the needle and changed the watch industry. It's been called the most important modern chronograph. I love it for what it stands for. I love it as just a beautiful object, and I love, honestly, how easy it is to style, which is why it's been on my wrist a lot recently. Big shout out and thank you to Teddy for letting me share this watch with you.
Hello, my name is Marco. I'm the founder of Swiss Watch Gang Instagram channel and new YouTube channel. Teddy asked me which watch I've been wearing the most lately. The watch I have on my wrist today. It's actually the Jacob & Co. Epic X watch. I love it because it's very light to wear. The lugs are pretty neatly, like they hug the wrist a lot. It's a grade 5 titanium, which makes the watch very light. It's also a skeletonized movement, which I really appreciate and is fun to look at when you have a spare minute. I want to thank Teddy on this point for giving me this opportunity to share my watch with you guys. If you want to see like an extensive review of the watch, you can check out my YouTube channel, Swiss Watch Gang. There are a lot of crazy shots in the video and a great explanation. Thank you, Teddy, again, and I hope you guys have a great day.
What's up, everybody? I'm Alessandro from the Slender Wrist, and Teddy, thank you so much for having me on your channel today. So lately I've been rocking a woman's watch. This right here is a 35 millimeters Casio Edifice. I've been rocking it in a business environment and with casual attire, and it works just fine because it's not too sporty and it's not too classic either. So this is the definition for me of an everyday watch. You get 100 meters of water resistance, a screw down crown. Take that, Seiko 5. But look at the design of that case and those lugs. It looks like a Sarb. Granted, this one is a quartz watch, so obviously it's always on time, but it's super lightweight and super comfortable as well. It hugs my wrist like no other watch in my collection. But for me, the star of the show is that beautiful black sunburst dial, probably the best I've seen on such an affordable piece. And just to make it a bit more interesting, you have that dash of color on the seconds hand and the water resistance rating, just enough color. Perfect. In just a few weeks, I'll publish a full review of this piece, so if you want to stay tuned, don't forget to go on my channel, The Slender Wrist, and subscribe. Teddy, again, thank you so much for having me on your channel today. And guys, stay stylish and keep watching.
Hi guys, I'm Adrian from Bark & Jack, and the watch that's been taking up the most wrist time for me is my latest purchase, and it's quite a boring one. It's a Rolex Submariner 14060M from 2004. I say it's boring because it's such an obvious watch to buy. It's so common. But then it's so common because it is just so great, and it's lived up to all of the hype that I've known it to have. I love the fact it works with so many straps, which makes it very versatile, but the thing that I love the most about this is the sheer air of vintageness that it has. It's got two lines on the dial, making it very similar looking to the old 5513s. It's got drilled lugs, so it has that tool watch feel about it, but then it also has the slimline case, so it has the very traditional, very iconic Submariner look about it. So I like the fact it has a vintage air about it, but then it doesn't have the pitfalls of vintage watches. So it has sapphire crystal. It also has a more robust movement. This is powered by the caliber 3130, which is far more shock resistant than the previous caliber 3000. Despite the fact the Submariner has been able to beat my Explorer to my spot of being my favorite everyday watch, it absolutely lives up to the hype that it has. And I've wanted this watch ever since I got into watches. I have it now and I am chuffed to bits.
Hey Teddy, thanks for having me on your channel, man. I appreciate it. The watch that I chose to share with you guys today is the Seiko SBDC 069. This is the blue coral sumo. Now I love the shade of blue here on the watch, how it plays with that pop of yellow. I love the case finishing here. I love the originality from Seiko, the in-house factor, and of course the price point coming in around $500. So it's not the most expensive watch, not the most expensive watch in my rotation, but out of all the times that I've kind of changed things up and bought and sold core pieces, this has always stuck around. There's a really cool X factor to the watch. Now with Seiko updating their sumo line and kind of making it a little bit more conservative, I think this outgoing generation is going to be the one to have long term. I love that bold, kind of silly looking font here on the bezel. I don't know, there's something about it that I really enjoy. So it's a pretty solid watch. Happy to share with you guys today. And again, Teddy, appreciate you having me on your channel.
G'day guys, my name's Chris from Horology House, and I make watch related videos where I review just all sorts of watches, and I try to present them in their best light. So Teddy, to answer your question, the watch that I've been wearing a lot lately is this, the Oris Great Barrier Reef limited edition. I think it's the third limited edition, and it's a release that we've seen announced at this year's Baselworld. And I think most of you are going to agree with me that Oris have been absolutely killing it over the past few years, and I think that this watch is a prime example of that. It's just stunning in person. It is a little larger at 43.5mm, however it does wear really well considering its size, and I love the ocean personally, so I tend to lean towards a dive watch as my daily. And I just find that this one fits in really well with everything that I do. I think I might try some different strap options soon, and while the integrated lug design is something that I'm not a huge fan of, as it is a little harder to find some aftermarket straps, it's definitely something that I can work around. Aside from that, I like the fit and finish overall, and that dial is just absolutely awesome. The blue sunburst pattern radiating from the center is just incredible in person, and I love the integration of the date wheel in the center of the dial. So guys, this is the watch that I've been wearing a lot recently, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. I'll be dropping my full review on this watch soon, plus many others, so be sure to check out my channel. Anyway, that's it from me. Teddy, thank you for the opportunity, and also just a massive congratulations on hitting 100,000 subscribers recently. That is a huge milestone, and it's well deserved. Keep nailing it, mate, and thanks again for the opportunity.
Hello, this is Jody from the Just One More Watch channel. Thanks for having me on, Teddy. What have I been wearing recently? Well, I've been living out my Pierce Brosnan era James Bond fantasies with the recent pickup of one of these, an Omega Seamaster 300 classic blue wave dial. Reference number 2531.80. This was the one worn by Brosnan in Tomorrow Never Dies, Die Another Day and others. Unfortunately, no remote detonator in this model though, but it is gorgeous. Now, I bought it from a friend. He had fully restored it. So new sapphire crystal, new bezel, new insert, and he had the whole thing polished. It looks like a brand new watch. Quite remarkable considering it's nearly 20 years old. It still keeps great time, the loom is fresh, the whole thing super comfortable to wear as well. 41mm diameter I think is a good size for me. The newer ones at 42 might just be stretching that a little bit too far, and that 9-link bracelet is so comfortable on wrist. Now I paid $1,200 US, equivalent in Australian dollars for this one, which I appreciate is not cheap, but if you look at a 2001 year model Rolex Submariner, you'll be paying thousands and thousands more. I think if you're prepared to look outside of the Rolex bubble, there's some real bargains to be had at the moment, including Omega Seamasters. Thanks again, Teddy. All the best.
Having this channel, I get to wear a lot of different watches, but I'd be lying if I said I was wearing any other watch more than this one. My Rolex Explorer 2 16570. A watch that I've coveted for some time, and I finally thought it was the right time to do it after getting 100,000 subscribers. So thank you guys for making that possible. But why I like this watch, to me, it's as close as you can get to when you factor in price, and of course it's under the radar kind of look for a perfect steel sports Rolex. It has a much more wearable case size when compared to the newer Rolex Explorer 2, the 216570, with this one coming in with a case size of 40 millimeters in diameter, 12.2 millimeters with its thickness, so even thinner than a Submariner, and a rather compact lug-to-lug of 47 millimeters. On the wrist, it's just crazy wearable. I mean, white dial, I mean, you can just slap it on and really don't even have to worry about what you're wearing. And whether you're wearing something a little more formal, maybe put it on a leather strap, or if you're just wearing sweatpants, the thing's still gonna look good. Now, I've been finding myself traveling a little bit more lately, and in the past, what I would do is I'd bring a couple watches with me on every trip to make sure I cover every scenario, but with this watch now, I basically just bring this thing around. So with that GMT function, also just getting a very sporty case that can be dressed up and dressed down. I mean, I really don't have to look anywhere else. And the 3185 in here, it's a good GMT movement. It's not perfect when you're looking at the newer GMT calibers from Rolex, but it definitely does the job. And for a watch that's around 20 years old, it's a great one. But ultimately, if I have to say why I like this watch and put it all together in one phrase, it has all of the traits to love about a Rolex watch without letting everybody in the room know that you're wearing a Rolex watch. And personally, I love that. All right guys, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Especially, that's a great indicator for me if you want to see more collab videos like this. I enjoy doing these. I mean, they're a little bit more work to coordinate and get it all together, but if you guys do want to see it, please let me know. And then also, check out all these guys' channels. I'll have all their channels in the links in the description, but I think it's just better overall when the watch creators can kind of stay together and work together and we can support one another. I much rather that than the opposite. So guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I will see you all very soon.